Hi, and welcome back to Hook It Up in Medellin, Colombia. Now, Medellin is a beautiful city built in a mountain valley in Colombia. And as you travel in the streets of Medellin, you'll see that there's plenty of these food shops that are selling these fried foods. And one of the fried foods that you're going to find is going to be the empanada. Now, an empanada is a common street food, and it really translates directly into wrapped or encased in bread. Now, you're going to find empanadas throughout the Caribbean region and the Latin American region, and there's so many different takes on it. And in this episode, I'm going to show you my take on it after sampling the empanadas of Medellin, Colombia.
Gracias.
So after having my fill of empanadas throughout the city, I had a good sense of what I needed to remake these dishes. Now I'm going with two different options. I'm going to be going with one meat option and one vegetarian option. So for the beef portion or the carne portion of this empanada dish, I had to get some fresh ground beef, harina pen for the empanada breading. I had to get a jug of cooking oil so that I could deep fry the empanadas. And for the spice blend to season the meat, I went with sweet peppers, onions, jalapeno peppers, red onions, minced garlic, and what translates to scallions, but it's not really scallions, but it really looks like chives. So what I did was chop that all up and made my own spice blend that I'm going to use to flavor and season the meat. For the avocado portion, I got 2 small ripe haas avocados. I'm also using thinly sliced red onions. It's about 1/4 of a red onion, sliced thinly. I have about a tablespoon of sun-dried tomatoes in, in oil, and about 1.5 tablespoons of coarsely chopped cilantro. Now that's going to be combined to make my filling for the vegetarian avocado empanadas. So to make the breading for the empanadas, I'm going to be using the harina pen, that's the yellow color, and making it and preparing it in the same way that you would the arepa casings. Now, if you haven't seen my video on arepas, there's a link for it right here. It shows you how to make the dough. I didn't want to waste the time in this video since I am doing 2 different types of empanadas on just the breading. To get started on the meat portion, I'm going to grab a pan, and it's probably the same saucepan I'm going to be deep frying in, so I have to be kind of clever with how I do it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this heated up on high heat, so awkward not cooking in my kitchen. And if you guys are just curious as to where I am, I'm in my Airbnb, apartment building in Medellin, Colombia. It's actually located right in Parque Aires, which is the main tourist area of Poblado, and it's a really cool setup. It's not a full-on kitchen that I'm used to kind of cooking in, but it gives you just enough to get your basics done. Now, if you guys are ever visiting Colombia, Medellin in particular, please stop by. I'll give you an awesome deal. Hook you up with my partner who will get you set up. Really good place to stay. So the first thing I'm going to do is get some of this cooking oil heated up, and then I'm going to saute the vegetable and spice blend that I created. So now that I've sauteed my vegetables, it's time for me to add the ground beef to the vegetable blend. I'm going to get that nice and combined and let it cook on through. And as the ground beef is going, it's time for me to get started on making the empanada wrappings. Now this is going to be similar to making taco wrappings. So I have my plastic bags here. That's to prevent it from sticking. So I'll lay down my plastic bag, and I'm going to grab about like a golf ball size or so of the corn dough. I'm gonna roll that into a ball, kind of give it a little bit of a press onto the plastic bag, and then the same pan, give it a nice firm push down. Now if you had a tortilla press, I'm pretty sure that would work wonders, but I don't here, so I have to improvise with what I have. So give this a nice firm press. Hold this back, and bam, you'll have your dough, just like that. Now I'm going to transfer this to a plate. Just so I have them, and I'm going to repeat this quite a few times, just so I have enough of the dough. It's time to get started on the avocado filling. Just cut this in half. Now I'm just gonna finely score the inside of the avocados into cubes. And you want to make sure you got some nice ripe avocados. You want them to be soft, but you don't want them to be brown. Get all the meat out. And then I'm going to add the onions, the cilantro, and the sun-dried tomatoes to the blend. And give this a nice stir. And of course, you got to salt and pepper this to taste. Mostly salt. Just a little bit of the pepper. You want there to be some flavor inside of these empanadas. Pimenta. Give this a nice, good old stir. Now that we have both our beef and avocado fillings, it's time to start stuffing those empanada rounds. I'm going to grab one of these rounds. Try not to do too much damage to it. And the first ones I'm going to start with is going to be the beef. So I'm going to grab just a heaping tablespoon and put that right into the center. Now that I have that wrapped up and folded over into like a half moon shape, I'm just gonna pinch the edges and seal off the empanada. So we're gonna do pretty much the same for the avocados, except I hope that I'm a little bit better with my technique here. All right, so another large spoon right in the center there, and then fold over. So make sure you keep like a dry hand when you're doing this. Just fold this edge over. Oh, these look so so different than how I get them in the stores, but it'll work. We'll make it work, man. We're gonna eat this. Now I've had my hot oil going, and what I'm doing is cooking up 2 empanadas at a time. So the first 2 that I put in were the 2 beef. I'm gonna let that fry up until the shells crisp up, and then I'm gonna let it drain on a paper towel draining post. So my camera decided to conk out, so I'm finishing this off with my handheld cell phone. And what you see here is the finished street-style Colombian empanadas. I decided to garnish it with a little bit of chives, and I'm serving it with a criollo sauce, which is more or less like a salsa. Now I'm also serving this with a Club Colombia Roja, which is a local beer that is more of an amber style. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to click that like button, subscribe, and leave your comments in the comment section below. Let me know if you tried this recipe or what I should have done differently. Thank you for joining me at Hook Eat Up. Take care.